Kindly like, subscribe and comment to get daily updates. Asiatic Consultants and Investments Private Promoter Group acquired 3.40 crore shares of Apollo Tyres worth 374.81 crore rupees via scheme of amalgamation, merger, demerger arrangement. Agam Holdings Private Promoter Group acquired 2.56 lakh shares of Arvind Fashions worth 2.56 crore rupees via public right. Ayojan Resources Private Promoter Group acquired 12.40 thousand shares of Arvind Fashions worth 12.40 lakh rupees via public right. Adore Investments Private Promoter Group acquired 18.20 thousand shares of Arvind Fashions worth 18.20 lakh rupees via public right. Amardeep Holdings Private Promoter Group acquired 13.00 thousand shares of Arvind Fashions worth 13 lakh rupees via public right. Anusandhan Investments Promoter Group acquired 15.67 thousand shares of Arvind Fashions worth 15.67 lakh rupees via public right. Arvind Farms Private Promoter Group acquired 2.05 lakh shares of Arvind Fashions worth 2.05 crore rupees via public right. Atul Promoter Group acquired 5.62 lakh shares of Arvind Fashions worth 5.62 crore rupees via public right. Aura Business Ventures LLP Promoter acquired 1.10 lakh shares of Arvind Fashions worth 1.10 crore rupees via public right. Aura Securities Private Promoter acquired 1.71 crore shares of Arvind Fashions worth 171.25 crore rupees via public right. Darshil Jayesh Shah, immediate relative, acquired 7.83 thousand shares of Arvind Fashions worth 7.83 lakh rupees via public right. Jayesh Kantilal Shah, Director, acquired 1.08 lakh shares of Arvind Fashions worth 1.08 crore rupees via public right. Rupa Jayesh Shah, immediate relative, acquired 9.20 thousand shares of Arvind Fashions worth 9.20 lakh rupees via public right. Suresh Jiraman, KMP, acquired 2.60 lakh shares of Arvind Fashions worth 2.60 crore rupees via public right. S. Chandrasekhar, Promoter and Director, revoked 6.66 lakh shares of BHAGIRADHE Chemicals and Industries worth 18.98 crore rupees via pledged. Released. Varun Berry, Director, acquired 84.00 thousand shares of Britannia Industries worth 22.95 crore rupees via ESOs. Shri Amit Raghuvanshi, designated person, acquired 17.25 thousand shares of Bajaj Finance worth 12.16 lakh rupees via ESOP. Shri Sachin Sikar, designated person, acquired 8.23 thousand shares of Bajaj Finance worth 99.83 lakh rupees via ESOP. Shri Vivek Likhete, designated person, disposed 2.00 thousand shares of Bajaj Finance worth 65.82 lakh rupees via market sale. Jignesh K. Gupta, promoter's immediate relative, acquired 6.00 thousand shares of Bansal Roofing Products worth 1.98 lakh rupees via market purchase. Ajit Welani, employee, disposed 6.00 thousand shares of CRISIL worth 1.04 crore rupees via market sale. Damika T. Joshi, employee, disposed 2.00 thousand shares of CRISIL worth 34.60 lakh rupees via a market sale. Maya Vengurlekar, employee, disposed 6.00 thousand shares of CRISIL worth 1.03 crore rupees via market sale. Maya Vengurlekar, employee, revoked 1.95 thousand shares of CRISIL worth 33.73 lakh rupees via revocation of pledged. Vivek Vishwanathan, Employ. Disposed 2.20 thousand shares of CRISIL worth 37.79 lakh rupees via market sale. Surinder Singh, Director, acquired 2.00 thousand shares of Dolfin Rubbers worth 100,000 rupees via market purchase. Paveen Juneja, Designated Person, disposed 2.00 thousand shares of HCL Technologies worth 13.87 lakh rupees via market sale. R. Anand, Designated Person, disposed 2.00 thousand shares of HCL Technologies worth 13.94 lakh rupees via market sale. Simal Kanuga, Designated Person, disposed 2.85 thousand shares of HDFC Asset Management Company worth 69.13 lakh rupees via market sale. Sylvia Furtado, Designated Person, disposed 10.00 thousand shares of HDFC Asset Management Company worth 2.41 crore rupees via market sale. A. Sunnikrishnan, Designated Person, acquired 27.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.35 crore rupees via ESOP. Ajit Subhas Shetty, Designated Person, acquired 9.70 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 43.74 lakh rupees via ESOP. Akhilesh Ashok Dharmadhikari, Designated Person, acquired 22.30 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 99.99 lakh rupees via ESOP. Akshay S. Dikshit, Designated Person, acquired 7.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 38.24 lakh rupees via ESOP. Amit Dayal, Designated Person, acquired 20.80 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.14 crore rupees via ESOP. Amit Kumar SARAFF, Designated Person, acquired 2.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 8.36 lakh rupees via ESOP. Amit Kumar Singh, Designated Person, acquired 9.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 37.60 lakh rupees via ESOP. Anand A. Bhatt, Designated Person, acquired 12.20 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 56.77 lakh rupees via ESOP. Anand Deepak MANKODI, Designated Person, acquired 22.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 84.13 lakh rupees via ESOP. Anand SANKARARAMAN, Designated Person, acquired 1.13 lakh shares of HDFC Bank worth 7.21 crore rupees via ESOP. Anil L. Bhavnani, Designated Person, acquired 40.50 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.80 crore rupees via ESOP. Apurva Mehta, Designated Person, acquired 14.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 76.49 lakh rupees via ESOP. ARABELLEDA Costa Frias, Designated Person, acquired 20.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.09 crore rupees via ESOP. Arvind Kapil, Designated Person, acquired 76.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 4.15 crore rupees via ESOP. Ashish Agrawal, Designated Person, acquired 29.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.41 crore rupees via ESOP. Ashish Bains, Designated Person, acquired 16.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 87.41 lakh rupees via ESOP. Ashish Parthasarthi, Designated Person, acquired 100.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 5.46 crore rupees via ESOP. Ashish Punnois Ibrahim, Designated Person, acquired 21.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.10 crore rupees via ESOP. Ashwini Vishal Desai, designated person, acquired 12.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 65.56 lakh rupees via ESOP. Asmita P. Gada, designated person, acquired 16.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 87.41 lakh rupees via ESOP. Augustine Squadros, designated person, acquired 22.80 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.63 crore rupees via ESOP. Anand Hiralal Dusane, designated person, disposed 1,000 shares of HDFC Bank worth 10.82 lakh rupees via a market sale. Anand Mankodi, designated person, disposed 3.50 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 37.98 lakh rupees via a market sale. Ashish Agrawal, designated person, disposed 6.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 64.91 lakh rupees via a market sale. Benjamin Frank, designated person, acquired 60.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 3.28 crore rupees via ESOP. Bhagwant SPILKHWAL, designated person, acquired 5.60 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 30.59 lakh rupees via ESOP. Bhagyesh Thakur, designated person, acquired 12.50 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 46 lakh rupees via ESOP. Bhaskar C. Panda, designated person, acquired 30.80 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.49 crore rupees via ESOP. Bhaskar Chandra Panda, designated person, disposed 12.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.29 crore rupees via a market sale. Chakrapani VENKATACHARI, designated person, acquired 1.12 lakh shares of HDFC Bank worth 6.12 crore rupees via ESOP. DEBAJET Das, designated person, acquired 13.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 71.02 lakh rupees via ESOP. Deepak Kumar Mahanti, designated person, acquired 38.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.29 crore rupees via ESOP. Darajli, designated person, acquired 46.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 2.38 crore rupees via ESOP. Dipesh Arun Kumar Mehta, designated person, acquired 2.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 13.11 lakh rupees via ESOP. Gaurav Khandelwal, designated person, acquired 38.80 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.82 crore rupees via ESOP. Gaurav Sarda, designated person, acquired 20.30 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 80.81 lakh rupees via ESOP. Jomy Abraham, designated person, acquired 12.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 65.56 lakh rupees via ESOP. KZ.LEASING Bharucha, director, acquired 2.68 lakh shares of HDFC Bank worth 14.64 crore rupees via ESOP. Karthik S, designated person, acquired 1.30 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 5.43 lakh rupees via ESOP. Ketan Bhupendra Vora, designated person, acquired 37.80 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.60 crore rupees via ESOP. Lakshmi Nandikesan, designated person, acquired 500 shares of HDFC Bank worth 2.09 lakh rupees via ESOP. Madhav Puran Karnani, designated person, acquired 2.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 13.11 lakh rupees via ESOP. Malika Vipin Mittal, designated person, acquired 10.20 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 55.73 lakh rupees via ESOP. Manish Kumar Agrawal, designated person, acquired 11.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 47.62 lakh rupees via ESOP. Dilip Nagda, designated person, acquired 12.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 65.56 lakh rupees via ESOP. Mukesh D. Pisse, designated person, acquired 4.80 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 20.05 lakh rupees via ESOP. Moolbagal Vijaya Krishna, designated person, acquired 26.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.44 crore rupees via ESOP. Munish Mittal, designated person, acquired 75.60 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 5.42 crore rupees via ESOP. Mirajuddin, designated person, disposed 2.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 21.85 lakh rupees via market sale. Manish Kumar Agrawal, designated person, disposed 1,000 shares of HDFC Bank worth 10.89 lakh rupees via market sale. Nachiket Yashwant Damodar, designated person, acquired 8.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 43.71 lakh rupees via ESOP. Neena Hunda, designated person, acquired 10.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 37.23 lakh rupees via ESOP. Niranjan Kavitkar, designated person, acquired 18.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 77.85 lakh rupees via ESOP. Neeraj Motor, designated person, acquired 9.60 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 40.75 lakh rupees via ESOP. Neerav Vimal Shah, designated person, acquired 60.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 3.28 crore rupees via ESOP. Nishant Sint Kumar Jitani, designated person, acquired 23.80 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.16 crore rupees via ESOP. Nishant Sudhir Jogi, designated person, acquired 500 shares of HDFC Bank worth 2.73 lakh rupees via ESOP. Nitish Nagori, designated person, disposed 2.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 21.48 lakh rupees via market sale. Prashant Ramesh Mehra, designated person, disposed 3.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 31.96 lakh rupees via market sale. R. Natarajan, designated person, acquired 18.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 90.62 lakh rupees via ESOP. RVL Kumar, designated person, acquired 20.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.09 crore rupees via ESOP. Rahul Sampat, designated person, acquired 40.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.78 crore rupees via ESOP. Rajni Gambhir, designated person, acquired 4.20 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 22.95 lakh rupees via ESOP. Rajiv Sen Gupta, designated person, acquired 18.60 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 77.70 lakh rupees via ESOP. Rajesh B. Chavan, designated person, acquired 68.65 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 4.49 crore rupees via ESOP. Rajesh Kanayalal Nayak, designated person, acquired 20.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.09 crore rupees via ESOP. Rajesh Radhakrishnan Nair, designated person, acquired 12.80 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 47.25 lakh rupees via ESOP. Rajesh Sharma, designated person, acquired 35.20 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.73 crore rupees via ESOP. Rakesh Jindal, designated person, acquired 5.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 27.32 lakh rupees via ESOP. Ramaswamy Narayan Swamy, designated person, acquired 17.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 79.79 lakh rupees via ESOP. Ritesh Sharad Sampat, designated person, acquired 21.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.17 crore rupees via ESOP. SSHAILESSH, designated person, acquired 17.80 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.28 crore rupees via ESOP. Samir Sudhir Agrawal, designated person, acquired 26.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.17 crore rupees via ESOP. Sanjay Desai, designated person, acquired 51.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 2.53 crore rupees via ESOP. Sanjay Kumar Singh, designated person, acquired 22.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.14 crore rupees via ESOP. Sanjeev Kumar Mandal, designated person, acquired 6.80 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 32.78 lakh rupees via ESOP. Sanjeev Bhuyan, designated person, acquired 7.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 38.24 lakh rupees via ESOP. SANMOY Chakrabarti, designated person, acquired 33.60 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.84 crore rupees via ESOP. Santosh G. Haldankar KMP acquired 500 shares of HDFC Bank worth 5.15 lakh rupees via ESOP. SASHIDHARJAGDISHAN KMP acquired 3.34 lakh shares of HDFC Bank worth 14.77 crore rupees via ESOP. Satyamurthy Swaminathan, designated person, acquired 1.80 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 9.83 lakh rupees via ESOP. Saurabh Dilip Jampika, designated person, acquired 16.80 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 60.39 lakh rupees via ESOP. Shantanu S. Chakrabarti, designated person, acquired 6.70 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 36.60 lakh rupees via ESOP. Sharad Vijay Kumar Goyankar, designated person, acquired 10.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 54.63 lakh rupees via ESOP. Smita Bhagat, designated person, acquired 26.70 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.46 crore rupees via ESOP. Subhash Aryadav, designated person, acquired 1.20 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 6.56 lakh rupees via ESOP. Sumant Rampal, designated person, acquired 26.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.44 crore rupees via ESOP. Sanjay Nagpal, designated person, disposed 2.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 21.66 lakh rupees via market sale. Sumant Vinay Rampal, designated person, disposed 20.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 2.28 crore rupees via market sale. Venkat Sundar VIJAPURAPU, designated person, acquired 17.80 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.28 crore rupees via ESOP. Vivek Kapoor, designated person, acquired 26.40 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.44 crore rupees via ESOP. Vivek Ramesh Vazirani, designated person, acquired 23.90 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.20 crore rupees via ESOP. Vikrant N. Tandon, designated person, disposed 1,000 shares of HDFC Bank worth 10.90 lakh rupees via a market sale. Ishwari Murugan, designated person, disposed 2.50 thousand shares of HDFC Life Insurance Company worth 15.87 lakh rupees via market sale. Kushru Sidhava, designated person, disposed 10.00 thousand shares of HDFC Life Insurance Company worth 63.95 lakh rupees via market sale. Amit Palta, designated person, disposed 25.00 thousand shares of ICICI Prudential Life Insurance Company worth 1.12 crore rupees via market sale. Ankit Pravinkumar Patel, promoter and director, acquired 3.37 thousand shares of K.Z.LEASING in finance worth 28.75 thousand rupees via market purchase. Bhargesh Ocha, employee, disposed 5.00 thousand shares of Kotak Mahindra Bank worth 70.53 lakh rupees via market sale. Janik Desai, promoter group, disposed 2.00 thousand shares of Kotak Mahindra Bank worth 28.09 lakh rupees via market sale. Dr. Rajendra Kumar Kamboj, designated person, acquired 20.00 thousand shares of LUPIN worth 1.62 crore rupees via ESOP. Rajiv Jain, designated person, disposed 500 shares of Larsen and Toubro Infotech worth 11.66 lakh rupees via market sale. Balaji Krishnan Turkadu Sundaram, designated person, disposed 4.00 thousand shares of MINDTREE worth 42.28 lakh rupees via market sale. Rosto Ravanan, promoter, disposed 100.00 thousand shares of MINDTREE worth 10.55 crore rupees via market sale. Subrato Bagchi, promoter, disposed 4.10 lakh shares of MINDTREE worth 43.33 crore rupees via market sale. Max Ventures Investment Holdings Private, promoter, pledged 1.83 crore shares of Max Financial Services worth 751.18 crore rupees via creation of pledged. Max Ventures Investment Holdings Private, promoter, revoked 97.94 lakh shares of Max Financial Services worth 468.09 crore rupees via pledged released. Sanjay Bajaj, designated person, acquired 510 shares of Oracle Financial Services Software worth 10.46 lakh rupees via ESOP. Kedar Paranjpe, designated person, disposed 1.50 thousand shares of Persistent Systems worth 13.10 lakh rupees via a market sale. Prashant Vargaonkar, designated person, disposed 4.32 thousand shares of Persistent Systems worth 37.72 lakh rupees via market sale. Rama Purushottam Foundation, promoter group, disposed 1.40 lakh shares of Persistent Systems worth 12.19 crore rupees via market sale. Ramanathan Venkateshwaram, designated person, disposed 1.48 thousand shares of Persistent Systems worth 13.03 lakh rupees via market sale. Vilas Kate, designated person, disposed 3.00 thousand shares of Persistent Systems worth 26.27 lakh rupees via market sale. Janavi Patel, promoter and director, acquired 14.17 thousand shares of RADHE Developers, India, worth 1.42 lakh rupees via market purchase. Anshul Chandak, designated person, revoked 58.23 thousand shares of RBL Bank worth 1.04 crore rupees via revocation of pledged. SACHETA and ABENS Shah, promoter and director, acquired 11.36 thousand shares of SACHETA Metals worth 1.71 lakh rupees via market purchase. Jyotindra Bhagwan Modi, promoter, disposed 6.55 lakh shares of Sasken Technologies worth 0 rupees via inheritance. Pallavi Bharat Mehta, promoter, acquired 6.55 lakh shares of Sasken Technologies worth 0 rupees via inheritance. Samir Bhai Rasigla Shah, promoter, disposed 10 shares of Shangar Decor worth 5.33 thousand rupees via market sale. Rajesh Dilip Mahatre, designated person, disposed 1.10 lakh shares of Vascon Engineers worth 10.25 lakh rupees via market sale. Ajay Bhaskar, designated person, disposed 15.00 thousand shares of WIPRO worth 41.50 lakh rupees via market sale. SL Corporate LLP, promoter, invoked 10.35 lakh shares of ZEE Entertainment Enterprises worth 15.05 crore rupees via invocation of pledged.